After stomping the traitor to death, Dustin carried the weakened Natasha Harmon back to the car. At that moment, the area on her leg where she had been bitten by the snake had already turned black and purple. Worse still, the venom was continuing to spread, leaving her entire thigh numb. This is definitely tricky. Dustin examined the wound closely, his expression growing serious. If it were ordinary venom, he could have easily neutralized it, but this snake venom was vicious, alarmingly so. The key issue was that he had no medicinal herbs or silver needles with him. Even with his knowledge of medicine, he had no tools to work with. Looks like he'd have to suck the venom out manually. "Rude, come here and help me," Dustin called out. "My name is Ruth. Ruth Harmon." She corrected him hastily and scrambled into the car. "What do you need me to do? Help take off your sister's pants," he instructed. "Hey! What are you trying to do? I'm warning you, don't get any ideas." Ruth stared at him like he was some pervert. "Your sister's been poisoned. I have to extract the venom," Dustin replied flatly. "Huh!" Ruth froze, blinking oddly. But the wound is on her thigh. You're not just using this as an excuse to take advantage of her, are you? This is life and death." "What are you even thinking?" Dustin snapped. "Haven't you ever heard that in front of a doctor, patients don't have genders? Now that you mention it." Ruth looked a little dazed, clearly buying into his argument. "Then why are you still standing there? Hurry and get her pants off," Dustin urged. "Oh, okay." Ruth didn't dare hesitate any longer, and quickly undressed her sister. In an instant, Natasha Harmon's long, fair legs were fully exposed before Dustin's eyes. He had to admit, they were stunning. Flawless, smooth skin, paired with delicate toes, made them look like a work of art. And to top it off, she was wearing lace underwear, seductive and dangerously alluring. Dustin steadied himself and forced his attention back to the wound. This wasn't the time to be distracted. Someone's life was at stake. With that, he lowered his head and began to suck the venom out. "Ah!" Ruth, sitting beside him, turned beet red from embarrassment. She could only cover her face with her hands and peek through her fingers. Dustin sucked out a mouthful of blackened blood and spat it out. Then he went in again, sucking and spitting repeatedly, never stopping, not even for a second. Natasha's brows furrowed, her toes curled, and a tingly numbness spread across her body. Every now and then, her body would tremble involuntarily, like she was being electrocuted. "Wait!" Halfway through, Natasha finally regained consciousness. She reached out and gently held Dustin's head, her eyes soft, her face flushed red. The strange, tingling sensation in her leg made her instinctively bite her lower lip. She looked so enchanting in that moment, soft, sensual, irresistible. Dustin's heart pounded like crazy. He nearly lost control. He prided himself on his self-discipline, but this woman was a natural-born seductress. Even he was having trouble holding it together. "What are you doing?" Natasha's voice was soft, her expression hard to read, torn between resisting and giving in. "Extracting venom," Dustin replied as calmly as he could. "And are you done?" she whispered. "Not yet." "Almost." "Then, keep going. Just be gentle, it hurts a bit." She bit her lip again, her brows furrowed. Every little gesture, every expression was dripping with allure. "Okay." Dustin swallowed hard, then bent back down to continue sucking the venom. Natasha clenched her teeth and tensed up, her hands gripping the seat as she tried not to cry out. That numb, tingling sensation was driving her insane. No one knew how much time passed. Only when the black-purple coloring finally faded did Dustin stop. By then, Natasha was drenched in sweat, completely exhausted and panting heavily. "Is it over?" she asked, her gaze tinged with resentment. "Ahem, yeah, it's mostly dealt with," Dustin said awkwardly. "But there's still some residual toxin in your system. Just to be safe, you should go to the hospital." With that, he moved to get out of the car to give her some space. However, just as he stood up, everything went black, and he collapsed straight into Natasha's arms, unconscious. "Dustin! What's wrong? Don't scare me!" Natasha's expression changed instantly. "Sis! That traitor earlier said anyone who sucks the venom out might die from it. Is he gonna croak?" Ruth asked uncertainly. "You brat! What nonsense are you talking about?" Hurry! Take him to the hospital! Natasha panicked. All right! Ruth didn't dare delay any longer and immediately shouted out orders. She directed the convoy to race down the mountain at top speed, but they had barely driven off when a fleet of vehicles rolled down from the mountain, one after another. In no time, the scene was completely sealed off. The doors opened, and Edwin Hummer was the first to step out. But the moment he saw the bodies of Aunt Lon and the others, his face twisted in shock. How could this happen? Edwin's eyes widened in disbelief. Aunt Lon was a carefully planted asset for that major figure behind the scenes. At such a critical juncture, she was supposed to help turn the tide. Yet not only did she fail, she ended up dead. What a colossal loss, losing both the woman and the soldiers. This is bad. Edwin frowned deeply, his face dark and grim. Not only had the mission failed, but a valuable undercover agent was also lost. If he couldn't provide a satisfactory explanation to the higher-ups, his career might very well be over. Dusk settled outside a hospital room. Dustin slowly regained consciousness after a long rest, but as soon as he opened his eyes, a surprised voice rang out beside him. Huh! You're actually not dead, Dustin? He turned toward the voice and saw Ruth Harmon sitting beside him, staring blankly. What? You sound kind of disappointed I'm still alive. Dustin replied irritably. Ahem, well, I'm just a little surprised. Ruth scratched her head awkwardly. Where's your sister? Dustin couldn't be bothered to argue. Oh, she went to get medicine for you, Ruth replied, then looked him up and down. I heard you were poisoned by some kind of Black Death serpent venom. That stuff is deadly. It kills instantly when it enters the bloodstream. You being alive is a miracle. Yeah, the Black Death serpent venom really is something. It actually knocked me out for a while. No wonder it's ranked among the 10 deadliest poisons. Dustin mused. With his physical constitution, he was practically immune to all poisons. But for this one to force him into unconsciousness, it was genuinely terrifying. Why does the way you say that sound so weird? Ruth frowned and scratched her head again. Before she could think more about it, 2 people suddenly entered the room. One was Natasha Harmon. The other was a well-dressed, voluptuous woman who bore a striking resemblance to Natasha. Her aura was powerful, exuding a natural authority. She was Natasha's mother, Jessica Duncan. Dustin! You're finally awake? How do you feel? Natasha's eyes lit up as she rushed to his bedside. After a nap, I feel pretty good. Dustin smiled faintly. Here, this is a secret antidote I just managed to get. Take it with water. This should ensure you're completely fine. Natasha handed him a small white bottle and poured a cup of hot water. Secret antidote? What is it? Dustin was a little curious. Don't underestimate it. This is a detoxifying powder refined by the famous healer Dr. River Jiang after 3 years of research. It can neutralize all kinds of deadly poisons, Natasha explained. Dr. River Jiang? Dustin was momentarily surprised. What? You know him? Natasha raised an eyebrow. I've met him once before, Dustin admitted. A few years ago, River Jiang had been ambushed by enemies. Dustin happened to pass by and saved his life. The detoxifying formula used in this medicine had actually been given to him by Dustin himself. Dr. Jiang is famously elusive. Just meeting him once is rare. You better take the detox powder just in case, Natasha urged. No need. The remaining poison in my body is already gone. You should keep it. Dustin declined politely. This stuff was hard to get. I'm not giving it back. Whether you need it now or not, keep it for emergencies. Without taking no for an answer, Natasha stuffed the bottle into his pocket. Dustin smiled helplessly but didn't refuse. It was a kind gesture, after all. Oh right, I just saw Dahlia at the hospital entrance earlier, Natasha suddenly added. Oh? What's she doing here? Dustin looked puzzled. I heard her grandfather is seriously ill and is being resuscitated, Natasha said. Seriously ill? Dustin's expression changed. Are you sure? They're downstairs right now, she confirmed. I'll go check. Without another word, Dustin got up and left the room. Old Mr. Nicholson had always treated him like family. Now that he was critically ill, Dustin couldn't sit idly by. As soon as he left, Jessica spoke up coldly. Natasha, So you wasted one of the Harmon family's favors for him? If it's a favor owed to Dr. Jiang, I'll repay it myself. It's none of your concern, Natasha replied indifferently. What? You like that guy? Jessica frowned. So what if I do? Natasha raised her chin slightly, completely unapologetic, even a bit defiant. You should know that the two of you are impossible. He's just an insignificant nobody, while you're a noble heiress and the future head of the Harmon family. The difference in your status is like heaven and earth, Jessica reminded her. I don't care, Natasha said bluntly. But I do, Jessica snapped. You can be willful in other matters, but not marriage. Don't forget, you're already engaged to Tyler Grant. Sorry, but I have zero interest in Tyler Grant, Natasha said firmly. This isn't your decision to make. As the eldest daughter of the Harmon family, you must take responsibility while enjoying your privileges, Jessica scolded. Responsibility? Natasha sneered. You mean marrying into power through arranged marriage? That's your idea of responsibility? I'm doing this for your own good, and for the family's. Tyler Grant is a rising star with the rank of young general at his age. His future is limitless. You marrying him would be a perfect match, Jessica insisted. Then you marry him. I'm not interested, Natasha said directly. Why are you so stubborn? If you reject this marriage, you'll never inherit the Harmon family's leadership. Don't you understand that? I don't care. I'm not interested anyway. You're willing to throw away your future for that man? Is it worth it? Of course it is. In my eyes, Dustin is no less than Tyler Grant. You really trust him that much? Jessica's face darkened. Absolutely. Natasha raised her head proudly. Jessica fell silent. After a moment, she took a deep breath and said coldly, Fine. Since you're so determined, I'll give you a chance. If that guy can pass 3 tests, I'll drop the arranged marriage with the Grant family and never bring it up again. What tests? Natasha raised an eyebrow. First, defeat Edwin Hummer. Prove he has real strength, Jessica declared. Edwin Hummer has the support of Mystic Arts Order. Isn't that a bit unreasonable? Natasha frowned. Humph. If he can't even deal with someone like Edwin Hummer, how can he be worthy of the Harmon family? How can he ever compete with Tyler Grant? I've already given you the opportunity. If he fails, you'll return to the provincial capital and complete the marriage as planned. With that, Jessica turned and walked out, leaving no room for argument.
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tight, destined for a lifetime, love with no end, love with no end. Staying in my imagination, memorizing the past time, the secrets, the love, the care. Now they're echoes in the air. I still see your face in every place, feel your warmth, your gentle grace. But now there's just an empty space, and I'm lost in this endless chase, keeping you in my heart, a piece of you I'll never let go. Though distance brings separation,